to another episode of Women's Talk Live. I'm your girl, April J.
I'm Sassy Scribe.
And I'm Miss Pretty.
And today, our special guest is a very, very good friend of mine, Miss Donzella Marie Burton. And
Hi.
she is a special assisted living coach. So we're so happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we're going to be talking about Black women in business.
And the rounds of rejection that
Yes,
they receive.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to learn a lot today.
All right, y'all. So don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to get into our Twitter facts, and then we're going to get into our show with Black women in business with our special guest, Miss Donzella. All right, so we'll be back, and we've got more Women's Talk Live coming up next.
I can't
And welcome to another episode of Women's Talk Live, and we're going to get into our Twitter facts. Yeah.
And blame it on the super producer because we
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Well, I didn't come up with him. I seen him, but I ain't come up with him this time. So our first Twitter fact is, besides men, lesbians have the most orgasms.
I can see that.
Ain't nobody asked me. I wasn't interviewed.
I can see that because they go like this and then they use a lot of this.
Oh, Lord.
They carpet munchers.
Oh,
You
Lord.
can't say that.
I call it liquor license.
Let's be a little bit more politically correct. You cannot
Charlamagne the
say
God
that,
says that.
But they do certain acts that would make it so that you're stimulating certain parts of the body that you are going to have more orgasms.
Well, why we don't
I'm
think the
saying-
man could do it too? Like, I don't know
But
about that.
you know what? That's a whole nother show because I had a conversation with some people the other day. But
Right.
men said that they're not doing it because women aren't requiring it. Next one. I don't know what women they're talking to. Every woman I know requires it.
They
But
ain't interview me either.
Oh, it's a requirement. Just saying. Okay. And number 2. An average woman eats about 4 pounds of lipstick in her lifetime.
I believe it.
I believe that because my lips ain't even ready no more. Look. No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
See?
Yeah.
It's in my belly.
I gotta change. I'll change.
I change lipsticks, but yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not long, well, yeah, because if it's long wearing, I'm eating a lot of it. I like all day lipstick.
Listen.
So, yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So number 3, high heels were originally created for men in the 1600s.
I believe
Men
that.
wearing heels were a sign of I cannot talk today.
What?
Male status, basically.
Masculinity.
Masculinity style.
Oh,
status.
okay. Well, Donzella, listen, girl. We ain't got to wear no more heels because we ain't masculine. The people said it.
Okay.
But I believe
That's
it.
for us. That's why I'm a Prince fan. All right, y'all. So
She about to get cut.
I know.
About to get
I
cut.
know. I don't know what to say out of my mouth. I really don't. All right, y'all. So we come back. Hey, listen. I'm a Prince fan. That's why I love Prince. I love him in his heels. Come on now. The heels and the butt out. Yes. Come
Everyone
through.
chaps.
Yes. All right, y'all. So we come back. We're gonna have more Women's Talk Live with Black women in business with our special guest, Miss Donzella. So don't go anywhere. We got more Women's Talk Live coming up next.
Hey everybody, it's me. It is your girl, Sassy Scribe of Situations with Sassy, where I bring you the best, and I do mean the best, in love, sex, and dating, each and every Monday at 12 p.m. on VerK Radio in New York City, and you can also hear Sassy worldwide on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and Spotify. So listen, go to situationswithsassy.com so you can set your reminders so that you won't miss an episode.
And welcome back to Women's Talk Live. We're going to get in our special topic of the day, which is Black women in business. And everyone on this panel has a business. So I think we all are qualified to answer this, but but we're gonna talk to our special guest, Miss Donzella. So for all of our viewers, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I am Donzella Burton, and I'm from Pennsylvania. I have gotten introduced to assisted living, and I knew nothing about it. When someone said assisted living, I'm thinking nursing home. So I teach classes. I own several assisted living facilities. And I teach individuals on how to start up and how to open their own.
Oh.
Nice. Okay. So now, when you got into the assisted living, you said you didn't know anything about it. So what did you have to do to prepare yourself to get into that business?
All right, so literally I got thrown into the business. And people are like, what do you mean thrown? No, I literally got thrown into the business. And I say that I got thrown into the businesses because I was, in corporate America, and someone introduced me to assisted living. Mm-hmm. And when they introduced me, I'm thinking, that's too much. I don't want to do it. It's entirely too much. And at that time, that was like 8 years ago, I was a me, myself, and I person, right? So the world just revolved around me. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's just who I was at that time. And I was married at that time to an individual that was about 12 years older than I was. Mm-hmm. And he specifically said, listen, that 9 to 5 ain't cutting it. You need this, that, and that. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. You need money to pay your bills. You need money to travel. You need money to save. You need money for... And I didn't know. My mom taught me, once you get a job, you have stability, and you have good benefits, right? So that's what I thought I had to do.
Like the post office. You guys go there, get a good job, and retire.
Right, and you're good.
That's the mentality in our community.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So that was my mentality until I moved here. And, I saw people, business being business owners and entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. And he said, listen, you want to be my wife or my woman, this is what you're going to be doing. I'm like, what? Like that's why I say I literally got thrown into doing assisted living.
So did he help you, or did you just when you say you got thrown into it, did you start working as a CNA? I mean, how did that work?
Okay, so what he did was he took me over to one of his friend's house, right? She had this big, enormous house. And I was like, wait, hold on, assisted living got her all this. You know what I mean? She had these fancy cars or what have you in front of her house, and she told me a little bit about it. I was just like, it's entirely too much. It's entirely too much. Fast forward, 2 weeks later, he says to me, did you think about what we talked about with so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it. He said, no, you are. I already signed you up for class, and it starts tonight at 7. Literally. Oh, my God. Literally, it started at 7 for a whole week. After that first week, that next Sunday, we went and looked for a house. Oh, wow. That's how it was quick. It was quick moving.
You had a man of means that could do that, though.
Yeah. Hold on. Wait.
So listen. So real quick. Surviving financial rejection. Some research suggests that only 2.2 of venture capital funding goes to all female founding teams. Reason bias: when pitching to venture capital, women are more likely to be questioned about preventing losses or protecting their potential businesses against competition, whereas men are more likely to be asked about the potential of the business growth.
I just experienced that, so I know that's true.
I believe that to be true.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. It's always a double standard.
Yeah,
always. I feel like we are criticized more. I think we as black women, we have 2 strikes against us because we're women and we're black.
And we're black, right. Yeah,
and I think we have to work twice as hard, and we have to prove ourselves. 3 times as good. Yeah. 3 times as, yeah.
But you know what's funny? Normally, if someone calls my facility or my phone, and they'll say, I want to speak to Donzella. This is her. And then they want to meet up with me. And when I open the door, they're like, no, Donzella. No, that's me. That's me. Because they expect me to be this color.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm like, it's okay. Come on in. I can still help you just because I'm this color. It's tough sometimes being a black woman in business.
Yes.
Wow. That's interesting.
And not only from them.
Right.
I think we are, and I've said this, I think for the last 9 years that we've known each other, is that we are our own worst critics.
Yeah.
We are.
Our own worst critics.
Absolutely.
And women, we're judging each other. Mm-hmm. We don't want you to have more.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We really and truly, that whole you having more than me sticks in our craw.
Yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, this is my thought pattern, process, I should say. I don't like the word competition. I'm great at what I do, and I know what I stand for. So there's a facility right next door to me here, but that's okay because you know what? I know what I bring to the table.
Exactly.
And a lot of people, when they don't know what they bring to the table, they're like, oh my God, they can't handle it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
All right.
Ooh, I like that.
I know.
I like that.
All right. So when we come back, we're going to get into surviving self-doubt, and I think that's what a lot of us as women, especially when we're faced with what we're faced, we start to doubt ourselves. So don't go anywhere. We got more Women's Talk Live coming up next.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates. Always fear, the debt suckers are here.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-701-7443. 800-701-7443.
Welcome to Women's Talk Live, and we're going to get a little bit more of our topic.
Yeah.
So before we get into our surviving self-doubt, there was one statistic that we were talking about off air, and that is firms started by Black women receive only 0.0006% of venture capital funding between 2009 and 2017. And this was a project of Diane 2018. From the pot of $424.7 billion
wow.
total tech venture capital funding.
That's like a whole other show because they don't even give venture capital funding to women in general.
They don't.
And then you add the piece of black women.
Right.
And then it drops it down even more. So, and that's tech. But this is overall. That was just for tech. But overall, they're not really trying to give us any money.
Absolutely.
So what has been like your experience with that?
You know what? It's so funny. When I got into this business, unfortunately, I used all cash. I did. I had the means to. However, not everybody is fortunate enough to be able to do that. You know. So when I tell them I use cash, it's kind of like, they're like, oh, forget, I can't do it. I'm like, no, you can. There's other routes that you can go in. However, I mean, that's not the route that I chose to go in. You know, no, I didn't want any credit card debt. I didn't want any loans. I didn't want anything like that. You know, so when I was able to see the fruits of my labor, I was able to see the fruits of my labor.
Yes. I'm like, oh, I
able to see the
love
fruits of
her.
I was able to see the fruits of my labor.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's one thing that I do. Like in the 9 years I've had my media company, I used my own money. I didn't take out any loans. I didn't use any credit card debt. Like I use all of my own money. Even to this day, I still use all of my own
But
money.
you know, you get richer using other people's money.
That is true.
You do. No.
That is
But
true.
this is the same thing with this cape that we got to cut off and let fly away in the wind. It is not the smartest way to use your own money.
But however, I will say this because I've been in real estate for over 20 years. And there are so many different ways of investing in real estate where you don't have to get a loan. You don't have to use your own money.
Right.
You don't have to go ahead and get a grant. But it's just the way you structure your deals.
Right.
It's the way you structure your business.
But you know, I never ever wanted to use anybody else's money because number one, I didn't want to pay back.
And you want to answer the
no, I want my own. And if I can't do it with my own money, then I'm not going to do it at all.
Right.
I'd rather wait.
Okay.
Sorry, I'd rather wait. That's just me.
And I had it. Now there was one time where I did have an investor. And he came back and wanted half of my company. And I said, no, my company is not for sale.
Right.
I said, if you want to invest, that's fine. And you can see a return on your investment because I wasn't paying you back what you put in, but I was giving you a return on your investment.
Right.
But you weren't getting half of my company. I said, at some point, I don't have once it gets to where I want it to be, then I don't have a problem with giving a percentage as long as I keep a percentage and I can go take that percentage and go grow something else.
True.
Right.
So, but I think people don't understand that. They understand, I don't think they really understand the ins and out of having a business, of owning a business, and they don't educate themselves on, getting registered within the state that you're in, getting a federal tax ID, having your company have credit.
Oh, yes.
People don't understand. It's not
important.
only just you having credit, your
company
business
having
having
credit.
credit.
But you know what's so funny? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
ahead.
But the funny thing is with a lot of our people, the first thing they want to say is, oh, I got my business name and I got some business cards.
I know, and the logo. Don't forget the logo.
Okay, and the logo. What? There's so much.
Yeah.
They have to
we
educate
so
themselves,
much
and
to
they
do.
don't. Unfortunately, they do not.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't.
Business cards, logo.
I haven't had a logo on Situations with Sassy.
Yeah.
But do I have one yet?
I don't
No,
know.
I think I made one and put a circle around and painted it black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't worry about that.
But it's not about that. People don't understand. There's so many benefits to having your own business. And I say this every year. I say every year my business saves me in income taxes.
Yes.
Every single year. Okay? I work. I work, but I also I write off every single thing. If I'm sitting across the table from you and we even have one sentence of business, that's a business
That's a
write-off.
business
That's right.
lunch.
But people don't understand
even
that.
though Mr. done cut Meals and Entertainment this tax sheet.
Yes, he did.
All right.
Yes, he did.
But you
Yeah,
know,
but there's
That's
ways
subscribe to the IRS
But that's
newsletter.
where you have to
Yes.
have a very savvy
Accountant,
right.
yes.
You know,
do.
but a lot of us aren't educated in that. And when you don't know, you don't know.
Because those are the
unfortunately.
newsletters I read from the IRS. I don't care what the
Yeah.
housewives do.
But there's other ways you can write that off.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I have a very crafty
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
doctor in accounting.
Hey, listen, I do too. I have one, and I am very educated in it, so I don't have no problem doing my
Yeah,
own
exactly.
business. And and let me tell you, last 2 years I have not had to pay income taxes.
That's good.
I get
That's
money
great.
back because.
Wow.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, I have, and listen, don't get me wrong. Always have a good Jewish attorney that you listen to, and a good Jewish accountant, because they gonna tell you. Exactly.
loopholes.
Yes, absolutely, and that's how I learn.
Let's see.
And you
I
have
worked
to
in
be
the
able,
synagogue.
but that's the thing, you have to be able to learn.
You have to be able to learn.
Yeah,
You have to be
listen.
willing to learn.
Yes.
Exactly.
Open-minded enough.
Absolutely.
Take a quick break. We're going to come back with more and self-doubt on Women Talk Live.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates.
Always fear the debt suckers are here.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-701-7443. 800-701-7443.
And welcome to Women's Talk Live. Oh my gosh, this show is
Time
almost.
flies.
I know it is. Really, it flies too quickly. So let me get into surviving other Black women. And yeah.
I mean, yeah, right.
Right, exactly. Black women are each other's biggest critics.
Worst enemies.
Yes.
They said it politely on the notes.
Yeah. We are the quickest to bring each other down,
Facts.
find each other's faults.
Hashtag debate me.
Yes. Nitpick at a sister until she has nothing left. Nothing left to give, and then step over her and call her worthless, according to one magazine article.
Absolutely. I just think it has to do with self. It has nothing to do with the individual that's throwing
Right.
shade at her.
Right.
It has to do with self. And if you're not confident within, it's over.
Right.
Because guess what? This is a dog-eat-dog world, and it will eat you alive.
That
And
is true.
people, when I read that, it's like we're trying to break you.
Yes.
Right.
And if you are easily broken,
It's over.
it's over.
It's over. It's
And
over.
and we used to do that when we were young. We
Right.
would bring people around because my family played the dozens. And if you didn't grow up with people who played the dozens, you could be left in tears because that was what we did. But we did it with each other and just assumed everybody played the dozens.
Right.
But they don't.
Right.
So we had to learn that
Yeah.
over time. You know, everybody's not as strong as
Exactly.
we are.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what I've also learned is that a lot of women who criticize other women, 9 times out of 10, they have self-esteem issues
Oh, absolutely.
themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the recent hugging with the judge, people are expressing anger with that. And somebody came back and made it so black womanish. I can't believe y'all just want to see her fall. And I had to comment, it's not about seeing her fall.
Right.
If any judge had done that, we'd be pissed. So we're not just going to peel out that she was black and a woman. We're disappointed in this person, this entity of what they were supposed to do.
It was the
And
narrative.
you're not just right just because you're black. I'm not just going to agree with you.
Right.
But I do think, I'm sorry, I do think that we as black women are our own worst enemy. I do. I seriously believe it. Instead of, you can see a beautiful black woman walking down the street or walking in the mall, and the first thing another black woman wants to say or try to find something that's negative about her, instead of saying, oh my God, she's beautiful or what have you, they're not going to do it.
So
They're
we've
not
been
gonna
saying
do it.
That
this
B
for
thinks
20
she
years,
cute.
though. What can we do different?
Look at that B. Look at her. Think she
We've
cute.
been saying it so long. This conversation is so
but you
old.
know what I've learned though. And again, you had to teach yourself this. As we get older and mature, we learn. I will tell a girl, I love that outfit.
Yes.
It's fire.
Because
and
you
then
are
we don't know.
confident.
But then they don't know how to receive it.
That's true.
They don't know how to receive it because they're looking at
You
you
know
like,
what? You know what? Guess what?
Yes, ma'am.
Guess what? That's me. I don't know how to accept compliments. I just don't.
Thank you,
this
girl.
This
And
is
keep
me.
moving.
This is me. I like that shirt. Oh, that was only $5. Why do I gotta say it was only $5? That's me.
At least you know it though.
That's
Donzella,
me.
women
That's
don't
who I
realize
am.
they do that.
I
They
do
get
it.
the compliment. Then they bring it down.
Yes.
Like, girl,
I
that
do it all the
hair is
time.
fire.
Right.
You know I got this from
I do it all the time. Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
you know
Why
what? But you know what? I was like that years ago.
Okay.
Now when someone says, "Oh, I love that," I was like, "Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that."
Yes.
And then I'll say something to compliment them.
Yes.
Because because I have two daughters. So at the end of the day, I don't want them to ever feel self-doubt or self-confidence
Right.
about themselves.
Right.
So I tell them and I let them know, hey, listen, you don't ever bring down other women, especially your own.
Oh yeah.
And if somebody pays you a compliment,
Yeah.
say thank you. I appreciate that. I said, and it's nothing more than say, oh, you know what? I love those shoes you have on, or I love that. Oh, yeah, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
But even though with me, I always dumb myself down for other people.
Never.
But I've
No,
done
it
that.
is, Donzella,
What?
when you smart and pretty,
Let me
you
tell
feel
you.
like, let me take
Let
something
me tell
away
you,
so I
this
won't
right
be
here-
too much.
This
Do
right
you see
here
that?
is
Fire.
You see this? Let me tell you. When you posted these pictures on Facebook, I was like, yes, honey. I started loving it. I was like,
And
yes.
I'm jealous.
yeah.
She ready to make me change my pressure. That's where it's at.
Level up, right? Because
But I
Donzella
do. But
set
I
the bar.
do.
When
I
people
do.
compliment me, I'm like, what?
No, I
This whole
don't.
thing? Thank you, sweetie.
I dumb myself down for other people all the time, and I
Never.
don't. Please don't
So
take
they
this
can
the
be
wrong
confident.
way. But all my life, okay, I may have my wig on today. However, I've always had long hair and nice, beautiful hair, and so when people compliment me in my hair, and I'm like, and I need to get out of that.
Get out of
need
it.
to,
Get out of it.
because I don't want them to think that she's just being or whatever. No, that's who I am, and that's who I've always been. Growing up as a young woman. I've always had the best of things. I've always had, nice hair. I was always thin. I was what have you. So me as an older woman, it's hard. It's hard to accept compliments because people say, "Oh, she's vain," or "She's this," or "She's that."
Right.
And I'm far from it. Like I'm not vain at all.
I'm vain, vapid,
Well,
obnoxious,
look,
and
I
I'm
want you
gorgeous.
to be beautiful and
Yes.
smart
Thank you.
and self-confident.
Exactly.
Why we can't do all that?
I want to have her
Why
back
won't
because I
nobody
want to
let us do
know
all of
about
that?
the
Yeah.
difference in the skin tones. As I'm dark and you're dark,
Yes.
and how that played into us growing up, because that could be a part of it. Because I don't know if you have. I don't want to put this.
No,
on
no,
you,
it's fine.
But it's like you're beautiful for a dark skin woman.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I never got that. You know why? Because I always had the hair. So they overlooked this,
wow.
but
Yeah.
looked at this.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
Right, and I
And
think
you
I
are
think
aware
that's
of
what
that.
it,
Oh
yeah,
my
and I think
God.
I
But
think
you
that's
have
the
to-
problem. I
yeah.
think that's the problem. We are so fixated on the physical,
Right.
and how we look.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first met you, I said, "Oh my gosh, she has a wonderful spirit."
I
was
said,
telling
she
her
is
this.
so
I
pretty.
said, she has a wonderful
This is
spirit.
the first time
So,
I'm meeting her,
thank
and
you.
she is awesome.
Yes.
And
you.
she will be ever. She's my friend forever.
Right.
Yes.
And what you see is what
And
you
I'm
get.
gonna
This is who I
down.
am.
Right.
She's gonna be my friend forever.
Yeah.
I know her lashes.
Listen, because your partner, I've known him for years.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, listen here, don't mess up on that. Because I'm going to whip your behind.
but yeah, what you see is what you get with me.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, y'all. So when we come back, we're going to give our final thought, and we're going to also, Ms. Donzella is going to tell us where you can, well, she's going to tell all of us and you guys where you can reach her and get more, because I'm pretty sure you will take yours on the road and tour. We are speaking that into existence. All right, so don't go anywhere. We got more Women's Talk Live coming up next.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates.
Always fear, the debt suckers are here.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-701-7443. 800-701-7443.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Attention military service members who use dual-ended combat arms earplugs between 2003 and 2015. 3M has agreed to pay out $9.1 million to resolve allegations that they sold defective earplugs to our troops. If you have ringing in the ear, hearing loss, or tinnitus, you may be entitled to compensation from 3M, not the U.S. government. Time is running out. Call now for a free case review. We are here to serve you. Call 800-559-8453.
And welcome back to Women's Talk Live. And the show went just by so fast. Oh
Very
my
fast.
God.
It was a good time, though.
It was.
Great time.
Absolutely. We are definitely going to have you back. Definitely.
Had a ball.
So tell our viewers, like, where they can reach you if they want to get involved in assisted living.
Yes.
How can they get in contact?
So if you were interested in starting your own assistant living business, you can reach me on Instagram at The Assistant Living Coach, or my website, www.theassistantlivingcoach.com. My number is 443-857-1050, but only use it for business.
I love it.
Only use it for business. Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Well, we
absolutely.
definitely have to have you back. I
Yes.
love your spirit.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely. All right, so listen, we're going to get into our final thought of the day. A successful woman is one who can build a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at her.
Amen. Ooh, I like
Yes.
that. Thrown at her.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right, y'all, this is Women's Talk Live. I'm your girl, April J.
I'm Sassy Scribe.
And I'm Miss Pretty.
And our special guest,
Donzella.
All right, y'all, we will see y'all next time.
I can't stay.